Welcome to the Marvel reviews of Dr. Video. Today we have the first Thor. It came in 2011, starred starring Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Anthony Hopkins as Odin, and Natalie Portman as Jane. From all the Marvel movies, this one in the first phase surprised me the most. It was a movie about Thor, the god of thunder. I did not know Thor as a comic book hero or as a cartoon. I knew him, but not so well. He was not so fleshed out. I did not know so many things of this guy, so many details, like I knew Spider-Man or Batman or Superman. I even knew a little bit more about Iron Man. But Thor, he looked kind of lame when I was little. He's like, I don't know if it's in English it's called Asterix and Obelix, it's the same. But he looks like Asterix, but then the big version. He has the same like hat with the wings on it. And he's not an attractive or not like a badass superhero when they first depicted him in the 60s, I guess. But they did it very well in this movie. The movie was directed by Kenneth Branagh. He also directed and starred in Hamlet. And he was the professor of dark arts, I think, in the second Harry Potter movie. I really liked the style of this movie. It was very Shakespearean, a very pompous talks about the people on Asgard, the planet of Thor, and I liked it. I liked that world. The world was beautiful portrayed with a big bridge called the Bifrost. Was that a Bifrost or the Rainbow Bridge? And it was beautiful. Also, Idris Elba has also a role as Heimdall, the keeper or the gatekeeper of Asgard. I liked the movie. It made fun of the big character of Thor. He is a god. He's the god of thunder. He gets cast out from his planet by his father to Earth because he is not worthy of being a king, of being the successor of his dad. He is heir to the throne, but he really needs to prove himself, and his dad, Odin, is casting him to Earth. And there the movie really took a different turn. It is like one of the many fish out of water stories. So, well, Thor is going to get acquainted on Earth. He meets Natalie Portman and funny things happen.
How'd you get inside that cloud?
Also, how could you eat an entire box of Pop-Tarts and still be this hungry?
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
Sorry, Izzy, little accident. What was that?
It was delicious. I want another.
Well, you could have just said so.
I just did.
No, I mean, ask nicely.
I meant no disrespect.
All right, well, no more smashing. Deal?
You have my word.
Good.
Very manly. It's nice that how they portrayed it. It was nice to see Chris Hemsworth as that big-headed Shakespearean tone of voice or when he talks, is very awesome, and he uses that same language on Earth. It could be lame, but it was actually quite funny. Really had a laugh about it. He got tasered like so many times. It's really awesome. It's like, you cannot smite the mighty Thor with the puny whip, and then they tase him. It's like, with the puny. It's like really fun. They do it twice. Agent Coulson has a big part in this movie, and he is the guy that is interwoven in the first Marvel phase 1. And I liked his part in this movie too. It was I think a little bit larger than he had in Iron Man 2. And I liked his part. I also liked the way Thor called him. His name is Phil Coulson. And I think Thor called him like, he said something, blah, 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 son of coal. And I really laughed my ass off. That was really funny. Son of coal. The images, the cinematography, especially in the first part, when he is on Asgard, the planet is beautiful. Of course, I have to mention Loki, portrayed by Tom Hiddleston. He really had a big fan base. People love this guy. He's nice. I like this guy, but I think people are a little bit overreacting on him. But that's my personal opinion. He's a layered character, a layered villain, and he has a cause, or we can understand his feelings why Thor and his father, or Odin, paid. So yeah, it was a little bit more fleshed out villain than the rest of the typical Marvel villains, because that was mostly, it is a little bit the Achilles heel of Marvel. It's the villains. The things on Earth were it got toned down. The level went a little bit down for me when he was on Earth. It was more humorous, and it was a typical fish out of water story, but they did it well. They did it. It made me laugh.
Where are you going?
50 miles west of here.
The overacting, the Shakespearean way, it got me. It really was a nice introduction for me to this character. So my verdict for this is a 7.5 out of 10 stars, and it's very likable. I like the characters. I like the movie. The cinematography was beautiful. I like the humor, the quips in it, and it has a good villain. So yeah, that was Thor. Thanks for watching Dr. Video's Marvel Reviews. What did you think of this movie? What are your favorite Marvel movies? Please leave them in the comments and subscribe to my channel.
You dare threaten me, Thor, with so puny a weapon?
What? He was freaking me out.